Hello, good morning, and you are welcome to Mining for the Truth. Joseph Atta is my name. I attend Church of Christ. I welcome all my viewers, my commentators from Dubai, Australia, USA, Ghana, and everywhere. You are all welcome to the program. Badanab Akunu, I greet you and thank you so much for your encouragement. Wherever I am, I share my glory with you, or whatever I get, you are a shareholder. He used to be my unmarried class teacher. Based on your encouragement, that's why I'm here today. I greet you, Matt, a secure campus, Church of Christ, and you are all welcome. By the Matthew Afo, by the Aaron, by the Mafo, by the Otabel sisters, Abigail, Augustina, Cindy, Phoebe. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. But the Saki, Mamines, I welcome all of you here. I also greet Engineer Gau, Gapoha. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate everything. And then I also greet Professor Samuel Kobna, my partner in crime. Prof, I salute. You are Saul, and then I am Silas. I mean, he's a mentor and I'm his mentee. Wherever he goes, I move with him. I also greet Doris Odonko. Hey, Mrs. Atta. Thank you so much for everything. I love you, and you know I love you so much. I know you also love me. You are all welcome, and all those that I couldn't mention your names. All right. Now, last week, we began with, or was a sermon, though people can see it to be a teaching. I go deeper. So at the end, you make your choice, either to see it as a sermon or to see it as a teaching. But when sermon changes to teachings, then there's nothing wrong with that. So far as the person didn't deviate, there's nothing wrong with it. And I have my reasons of doing it so that you, the same person, can use it to give a sermon. You can also use it for teachings. So I welcome my two viewers, one plus Doris Odonko. Doris, I just mentioned your name, so greetings to you. You know I love you so much. You are welcome. All right, so last week was Philippians 2 verse 12. Visioning for the reward. And then the topic was, which is your crown? And at the end, we saw 5 kinds of crowns. All right. Now, today, what do I have for you today? Today, too, is a sermon, basically. Today, too, is a sermon. The theme is lost forever. Theme is lost forever. And topic is remember. Topic is remember. Luke 16, verse 25. Now, if you want the full story, begin from verse 19 to 31. Of course, we will try to go in. Lost forever. Remember. Remember that you can lost forever. That's why we're saying lost forever as the theme. Remember as the topic. We will start with the introduction. So we're saying that this passage between the rich man and Lazarus, basically, is one of the most haunting and sobering passages of scriptures. Precisely from Luke 16 verse 19 to 31. You see that it is so, when we say haunting, we mean something which has been visiting you regularly. So you cannot sleep. Alright. Now, in this section of the scripture, we read of 2 men. Basically, 2 lives. So, 2 men, 2 lives, 2 deaths, and 2 internal destinies. Go to Matthew 7, verse 13 and 14. Matthew 7, verse 13 and 14. I read, enter in through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who enter through it. Verse 14, because small is the gate and narrow is the way that leads to life, and few are who find it. So we say that when you consider the text or the story between the rich man and Lazarus, Luke 16 verse 19 to 31, we officially read about two men, two lives, two deaths, and two internal destinies, as we have seen in Matthew 7 verse 13 and 14. Now, the spotlight characters are the rich man and Lazarus, with the patriarch Abraham making a role appearance. So between them lied Abraham, so we have Lazarus and then the rich man. So the interests are two, but Abraham becomes an intermediate person here. Now the rich man died. He was buried. He lifted his eyes and saw that he was in torment. Lazarus, the beggar, died and was ushered into eternity by the angels, to what the context describes as Abraham's bosom. So the phrase Abraham's bosom means that he was taken to heaven by the angels, and of course into a place of eternity. Now let's go to Luke chapter 16 verse 24 and 25. Luke 16 verse 24 and 25. Okay, I am there. Then he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus so that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. Verse 25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that you in your lifetime received your good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he's comforted and you are suffering. Son, remember, lost forever. Son, remember. We mean remember that you can lose your eternity forever. The theme must rhyme with the topic. Lost forever. Remember. Remember that you can lose or you can miss your eternity. All right. We continue with the introduction. Certainly, one of the worst things about being lost in internal realm would be ability to remember what could have and should have been done while on earth. It will be so painful to find yourself in Tartarus. Someone will say Tartarus. That's how the white have been pronouncing. Tartarus or Tartarus, if you want. When you are alive, you and I, that we are alive today. That's why last week I gave the sermon, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's when you have the strength. So it will be so unbearable to refuse doing the things right and later go to Tartarus and suffer. Son, remember, echoes through the discerning reader's mind. Yes, son, remember. So which means he was being directed to something that, or the mistake that he did previously in his life. Son, remember, echoes through the discerning reader's mind. None of us want to find ourselves looking back with regret after we live this life. Yes, that's why he's saying, son, remember. Which means he was supposed to recall what he did while alive. The Greek word for remember is Naomi. Naomai. Naomi, if you want, or Naomi. It means to bear in mind, to recollect, mental grasp, and be mindful. Son, remember. The word remember there means to bear in mind, to recollect, mental grasp, and then be mindful. That's why Abraham said, son, remember. Now let's see the synopsis of the studies. 1. To know the distinctions of Hades after death and judgment in Hebrews 9 verse 27. So at the end, the reader should be able to segregate Hades after death and judgment in Hebrews 9 verse 27. Verse 2. What should we remember? What should we remember? So we take them one by one and then we'll do justice to it. Now, A, the distinctions of Hades after death and judgment in Hebrews 9 verse 27. Now, the lifespan of every human being is 70 or 80 years. Psalm 90 verse 10. And then Psalm 89 verse 48. Let me read it so that someone will not say somewhere and think that I am guessing. Very good. Psalm 89. I'm saying that the lifespan of every human being is 70 or 80. So Psalm 89 verse 48. What man can live and never see death? Who can deliver his soul from the power of Sheol? Now Psalm 90 verse 10. Of course, we don't say Psalm chapter 90. When you mention Psalm, you don't say chapter. That's how we say the Bible. So Psalm, you don't say chapter. No. Psalm 90 verse 10 and not Psalm chapter 90. No. The years of our life are 70 or even by reason of strength, 80. That's the essence of studying the Bible. If you're a Christian, you quote and then you give evidence. I've said that the lifespan of every human being is 70 or 80 years. And Psalm 90 verse 10 has indicated that the years of our life are 70 or even by reason of strength 80. Yet their span is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone and we fly away. Everyone will die. So here we're saying that it tells us that nothing lasts forever. Time takes everyone out. You will not remain the way you are forever. People who are fond of mocking others when they see them. At times you see a woman so deformed, all because of a marriage and childbearing. Go back and then watch her childhood or youthful pictures, and you see that she was so beautiful. So she is still beautiful. Time is taking her out. Nothing lasts forever. Everyone will die. There's no way you will live forever. That's why we are gradually deteriorating. Yesterday is not today. And so far as you are celebrating your birthday, it means you are growing. You can't cheat nature. No one can cheat nature. On Sunday, we were at UMAT and we were having some leaders conversation. And Professor Kobna said that what he hates most in life is to use some deformation on him to mock him. He hates it so much because he didn't create himself. Then I said, wow, the people were sharing what they hate in life. Then he said, this is what he hates most. That maybe he had an accident and then the wrist or the hand has now bent and you want to use it to mock him. Or maybe natural occurrence. You see, as I said, you can even easily deform in shape. Precisely the women or the females. You see, the childbearing, we call it as labor. And the more you are becoming pregnant and then conceive, you see that you deform entirely. Everything will descend. And he's saying that he hates it when you mock him with a natural occurrence or something that he didn't create himself. Alright. So we're saying that we will all die someday. None is going to live forever. Which is why when you are alive, you must do what God wants so that he can consider you salvation when you die. So we're saying that each man has only one breath. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 19. Each man I want to prove a point here. I'm going to condemn AI, this artificial intelligence, today, using the Bible. Each man has only one breath. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 19. Let's read. Very good, I'm there. For what happens to the children of man and what happens to the beasts is the same. As one dies, so dies the other. They all have the same breath. And man has no advantage over the beast, for all is vanity. I repeat it. For what happens to the children of man and what happens to the beast is the same. As one dies, so dies the other. They all have the same breath. Each man has only one breath, and at the end you will die. Everyone dies only once, and then is judged. Hebrews 9 verse 27. You die only once, and when you die, the judgment will follow. So Hebrews 9 verse 27. Hebrews 9 verse 27. And as it is appointed for men to die once, but after this, the judgment. So God is not going to waste his time to pile up the dead and judge them when the trumpet is sound. No. Once you die, the moment you die, that's the end. Then you are judged. A ghost does not exist since the soul is entrapped in a specific habitat or environment. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 20 and 12 verse 7. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 20. All go to one place. Remember, I just read 3 verse 19 that each man has one breath. And verse 20 is saying that all go to one place. All are from the dust, and to dust all return. All goes to one place, or all go to one place. Now 12 verse 7. We're still on the same Ecclesiastes. And the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. A ghost does not exist since the soul is entrapped in a specific habitat or environment. So once you die, that's the end. There's no ghost. Now let me take you to medical studies. We have what we call resuscitation. Resuscitation is the act of reviving a person and returning them to consciousness. So if you're a doctor and someone has come to your hospital, initially you said the person was dead, and later he awakes or she awakes. Don't claim that you have awakened a person. Life is only once. The person was rather unconscious, that's number one, or he or she was in coma. No one dies and resurrect again. Never ever in this life. Except Jesus Christ, no one will die and raise again or be raised again. It is impossible. So that's what we must know. That when you die, or when you are unconscious, maybe for 2 days, for 5 days, for 3 days, and the doctor or the nurse has been able to revive you, you didn't die and then wake again. No. You were in coma, or you were unconscious. This is what you must know. It is just unconsciousness or coma because no AI, no artificial intelligence can raise the dead. It is impossible. Then, okay, very good. If this is not true, during COVID-19 era, we heard of renowned doctors and nurses and people, wealthy people who died. So the doctor died in the hospital. Very good. Not even in Ghana, abroad. They claim that they are wiser than God. Why didn't they wake them up? When you die, then you are gone forever. So if you're unconscious and you have been brought back to life, you call that one resuscitation. And it is a medical term. This is not in the Bible. Of course, you can be in coma for 1 year. It could be 2 years. It could be many years. You are not dead. Hebrews 9:27. It is appointed for men to die only once. You will die one. Period. So when you die and die well, that's the end. So we are not interested in AI. The Bible was written before human beings were created. Or God used the human beings to write the Bible. And they are reasonable than the scientists that we are having nowadays. There is no change of mind after death. None returns from the death. None return from death. Sorry. None can redeem him or herself after death. So people claimed, when I die, I will bring this. And when I die, I will wake up, this and that. My friend, I said, and I'm saying that only Jesus Christ has the power over death. That's why he calls himself Savior. A Savior is someone who can save himself and then others. So which means he had the power and authority over death. That's why he died and then he arose. Only Jesus Christ. No other human being. No other human being. This has never happened even in the history. Even the apostles, they died only once. No apostle died and was even awakened by Jesus Christ. A servant is not above his master. John 15:20. Of course, this passage is about persecution, that if Christ was insulted, fine, I understand. But I am also using it as an example that no one is above Christ. In case you are not, even though he said that when you remain in him, you will be like him. The word is like. So like is contemporary. If you remain in me, you will be like. So notify the word like. It means it is possible or it is impossible. No apostle died and woke again. They all died only once. And since then, all men have been dying only once. No prophet died and was awakened. Now, what is Hades? What is Hades? It is a place where all the dead rest after judgment. So since the flood from Noah's Ark, King Pharaoh and those who were drowned by the Red Sea, all those who have died, they are all packed somewhere. So the word Hades is a place where all the dead rest after judgment. Now it has two temporal dwellings. So in Hades we have a Tartarus and we have paradise. Now Tartarus is a temporal dwelling place for the sinner. That's why the rich man. Now go to Luke 16:23. Luke 16:23. 24 and 25d. Luke 16:23. Let's read so that I can prove a point here. Luke 16:23. And in Hades, please. So if your Bible is hell, then you are wrong. Of course, I will prove that when you die, you don't go to hell. That's why you should be careful when buying the Bible. But Bibles for studies are NIV, NASB, ESV, and then New King James Version. NIV, NASB, New American Standard Bible, New King James Bible, and then English Standard Version. So therefore, all others may use hell. Sometimes if you're not careful, even the NASB may use hell. The word there should be Hades. Luke 16:25. So I read 25, yes. No. Go to 23 first before we come. And in Hades, he lifted up his eyes. Now verse 24. Then he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus so that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. So the rich man was in Tartarus. Go to 25d. And you are suffering. It is a place of torment and suffering. We have proved where the rich man went when he died. So Hades has two distinctions. One, Tartarus, for sinners. And Hades is a temporal dwelling place, not permanent. And see how he's suffering there, or he was suffering there. And this man is still there, suffering. When we die and we live a sinful life, we go and then join him. Now, paradise is a temporal dwelling place for the righteous. So comfort and enjoyment starts. Now, for Tartarus, torment and agony in the flame starts. That's why the man said, for I am in torment, for I am suffering. So, if you're a sinner in this life and thinking that you will never die, when you die, the moment you die, Hebrews 9:27, you are graduated to either paradise or Tartarus. So paradise is a temporal dwelling place for the righteous. Comfort and enjoyment start. So if you're a righteous person, the moment you die, you start to enjoy. Luke 16, verse 22a. Now, it came to a pass that the beggar died. The beggar here is the Lazarus, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. Already I've explained when I was doing the introduction. Now go to 25c, still on the same Lazarus. But no, he is comforted. So Lazarus is being comforted, or he was enjoying comfort in paradise. So Lazarus went to paradise, and the rich man went to Tartarus. Now, I will use this to clarify some ignorance. We used to hear some stories. I mean, back then, that someone would come to radio and TV to proclaim that I died, and then I went to hell. I saw Satan. I saw those who are suffering. At times, they even mentioned some musicians and artists who have died. I saw this man here. I dreamed, and I saw that, this and that. I went to heaven. My friend, we are not in that age, so I've been saying that people who don't say the Bible are not sensible. Bible is a book of common sense. If you go to Facebook, I've written something on common sense. Sense is common, but not common to apply. What do you mean by you died and then you went to hell and heaven? We have not gone there yet. And no one will die and go to heaven and hell. No. You must pass through a paradise, so at the end, when Christ comes, those who are in paradise will go to heaven, and those who are now in Tartarus will go to hell. So what do you mean by you died, you dreamed, and then you were in hell? Which hell is that? Because no one has gone there before. The heaven that we have now, God, Jesus, and the angels, and then maybe others. You and I are all those who have died. Nebuchadnezzar, they are all either in paradise or Tartarus. What do you mean by you dreamed, you died, you went to hell and heaven? Which hell and heaven is that? Because the Bible does not record it. That's why I'm saying that if you want to be reasonable, if you want to be very, very and extremely sensible and brilliant, you must learn the Bible. The Bible is a book of common sense. And all those who don't say the Bible are not sensible. Remember, your worldly wisdom. Now, the least that you have that you call sense. The worldly wisdom is foolishness before God. Yes. Your worldly wisdom, that you think you are wise, I am this, I have done this, I can do this, is foolishness before God. True wisdom and genuine wisdom come from the Bible and God himself. James 1 verse 5. If you need wisdom, ask God. Now, if you go to 1 Kings 3 verse 5, it was God who approached King Solomon at Gibeon. Now, verse 13 is saying that because Solomon did not ask for wealth, but rather wisdom, God added wealth to him and said that no one in this life will be sensible and wealthy than him. So what do you mean by you are reasonable? If you want to be reasonable, read the Bible. The Bible is a book of common sense. And everyone who does not say the Bible is not sensible. You will never be sensible because the least that you have from the world is rather foolishness before God. So you can imagine the disparity. That what you have, I'm a professor, I am this, I'm the managing director, I am the HOD, is foolishness before God. All these are from the world. And the Bible is saying that it is foolishness before God. So you can't deceive me that you died and then you went to heaven. Once again, no one dies and go to heaven or hell. No. When you die, either you go to paradise or Tartarus to suffer, to enjoy, and you are waiting till the final trumpet is sounded. Then by automation, all those from paradise, so including Lazarus, they will all go. All the apostles, they will all go. And then you and I, in case you chose to live a sinful life, you will go to hell with Satan. Now, hell is prepared for Satan and his angels. When we say angels, we mean those who are still in this life and who have been sinning. My bed, Freemason, Illuminati, drinking, womanizing, manizing, and others. They will all die and go to Tartarus, not hell. No one dies and go to hell or heaven. So you see that you can't deceive me. And I don't have time. You see why I don't waste my ears on unnecessary news. That is and that, and the people will be so passionate and they will dedicate their time to listen. Hey, can you imagine that when you go to heaven, this and that? No one has seen heaven before. You see? All what you have been assuming heaven is a place of gold, they are mere assumptions. No one has been there before. So it is just the prototype. So no one dies and go to hell or heaven. And to you pastors who have been lying to your congregation, you must learn the Bible that when you die, either you go to paradise or Tartarus and nothing else. When you die, your soul is captured, it's seized. You cease to function. The soul is seized. But you are suffering. Your soul. Your soul is suffering in Tartarus. So away from your ghost. The soul has been captured into a specific habitat, being paradise or Tartarus. So, someone who is enjoying his life in paradise, why will Lazarus, why will he waste his time to come to this life to appear as a ghost? Ghost does not exist. So be mindful of that. So enough of differences between Hades, paradise and then Tartarus. Now we go to the B. What should we remember? What should we remember? I didn't say why should you. You and I, we are learning. So what should we remember? Doris, when I'm done, I'll send you the PDF. And also to the sister who is watching, I'll send you the PDF. So that when you are free, you can have time to study. B. What should we remember? We should remember that 1. Earthly things will not last. Earthly things will not last. What should we remember? Number 1. We should remember that earthly things will not last. The rich man seemed to have it all in his life. When you go to the 16 verse 25. 19 and 25. Now let's read it and then let's see how he enjoyed. The Bible is using sumptuous food. A food so expensive. Luke 16 verse 19. There was a certain rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen or linen, and he lived in luxury every day. He lived in luxury every day. Having wealth is not a guarantee to salvation. Earthly things will not last, but nothing in death. So you see that the rich man seemed to have it all in this life, but nothing in death. So go to 25. Let's see what he achieved upon living a luxurious life or lifestyle. Let's see what he achieved in verse 25. But Abraham said, "Son, remember that you in your lifetime received your good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he's comforted and you are suffering upon all what he lived, the expensive lifestyle." He died and lost his soul. That's why we're saying lost forever. he lost his soul, forever and ever. So we're saying that earthly things will not last. We're still on the same point. None of us will be able to take our earthly goods with us when we die. Job 1 verse 21. Naked I came. You can also go to 1 Timothy 2 verse 7. But let's go to Job first. Job 1:21. We're saying that none of us will be able to take our earthly goods with us when we die. Job 1:21. And he said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Now, we quickly rush to 1 Timothy 6 verse 7. Yes. But godliness with contentment is great gain. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Live your life so in luxury. Some don't even want to work because they can't live with a car. They hate working as ever. They want to live so comfortably in life. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. I am not saying that don't buy a car and drive, but will not lead to salvation. Eventually, the earth and the works that are in it will be burnt up. So 2 Peter 3 verse 10. 2 Peter 3 verse 10. All what that you are burdening on it, all what that you are saving, they will all be burnt up. So 2 Peter 3 verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens will pass away with great noise, and the element will melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that therein will burn up. Yes, the bottom line is that the earth is being melted. So what about your burdens and others? The burden is on the earth, and the earth is being burned up. So where will you? Where will be? Where will you be? And where will be your investment? I built companies. I bought cars, stores, banks, buildings. Of course, he lived as a landlord. She lived as a landlord, boasting and then intimidating people who were renting or who are renting the home. Not all of us can build a house. Some will build and some will hire. Pride will set in. Then they will try to underestimate you. Oh, I built my first house when I was at this age. I married at this age. I gave birth. All will be brought to humility. So eventually the earth and the works that are in it will be burnt up. They will all gone, or they will all go. So all what the rich man did were all gone. Therefore, our thoughts and investment should be toward heaven. Matthew 16 verse 19 to 21. Colossians 3 verse 1 to 4. Let's go to Matthew 16 verse 19 to 21. You sit down there and then be comforting in money and think that salvation is found in money. I remember one foolish statement from a friend during the COVID-19 era that he has seen that when you have money, you will easily go to heaven, all because you donate. Charity work. He said, I didn't mind him. Normally when he was being senseless, I just don't waste my time on you. I told you that money can send you to heaven. So his ambition now is to make money. He also have the idea that once you have money, then people will respect you. Of course, if you're having a good car, you have a good phone, you have a good home, so people will fear to even approach you. So what he means to say is that even if he does something wrong, the elderly can't approach him because he has more than they have. So people have money, people are looking for money to underestimate. It is called pride of life. Now Matthew 6, verse 19 to 21. Matthew 6, verse 19 to 21. I read, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal." Verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in nor steal. Verse 21. "For where your treasure is, there will be your heart also." So the rich man's heart was in his possessions, material possessions. So also we have nowadays, people will not even waste time to go to church. They are always busy making money. Always they are busy making money. No church attendance ever in their lives. In fact, some even don't go at all. Some don't have a church to attend. I mean, in this life, people don't have a church to attend at all. But when they die, then family members may go and beg one pastor or preacher to come and then offer some service. But the person was not a member. You see? All right. Colossians 3, verse 1 to 4. Colossians 3, verse 1 to 4. Very good, I'm there. 3, verse 1 to 4. "If then you were raised with Christ, seek those things that are above, where Christ is sitting at the right hand of God. If, the word is if, the conditional word, if you then were raised with Christ, seek those things that are above, where Christ is sitting at the right hand of God." Verse 2. "Set your mind on the things above." Everything here is above. Above means heaven. "Not on things on the earth, in this life." Verse 3. "For you are dead, and your life is embedded with Christ in God." Your life is hidden, with Christ in God. Last verse. "When Christ, who is our life, is revealed, then you will also appear with him in glory." Above. So we think that our thoughts and investment should be toward heaven. All what that we are struggling to achieve in this life, education, status, fame, we will not send it to heaven. So number one, we should remember that earthly things will not last. 2.2. We should remember that the faithful will be rewarded. Lazarus was rewarded for a lifetime or for a life of faithfulness. Only the faithful will receive the crown of life. Revelation 2 verse 10. Even last time I said, when I was mentioning the 5 kinds of crowns, I mentioned. So Revelation 2 verse 10. Only the faithful will receive the crown of life. Only those who have given themselves completely to God's will and who die in the Lord. Who die in the Lord. Not on the Lord. In the Lord. Will find eternal happiness. Revelation 14 verse 13. This one, let's read it. Revelation 14 verse 13. "Then I heard a voice from heaven saying, Write, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the Spirit, so that they may rest from their labors, for their works follow them." They will rest for their labors. Which labor? By living for God, by living for Jesus, by studying the Bible, by living an exemplary life, by doing the will of the Lord, by going out to preach to the Lord's souls, to win them back to Christ's church. In the Lord. So we're saying that only those who have given themselves completely to God's will and who die in the Lord will find eternal happiness. Yes. And not those who have sold their souls for money and work, fame, and status in life. I have this, I am that, this and that. Some will even have his or her own prime time table. At the age of 25 years, I have to marry. By 30 years, I'm done with my child delivery. Then the rest will... Someone created you. He chooses what you will do to die or to live. So people who have been piling up money, you see, we have some people who are interested, they are piling up money and in their mind so that when they grow old, they won't suffer. You see, I wonder at times when I see a human being, precisely a Ghanaian, then I just wonder that who created him at all? A life being given to you by someone. What we are now having is just by borrowing it. Now, when someone borrows you something, you don't claim ownership. For example, I've given you my phone. The phone is not yours, so you must even handle it with care. So you don't go out to brag that this is my phone. No. The owner, when he sees that you are bragging, he or she comes and then takes it away. Then you are ashamed. You see. So I just better don't live a life with any timetable. I live for Christ, and if I die in the Lord. I live to do the will of God. Now, point 3. We should remember that only one life is given to save God. Yes. As I was proving earlier, only one life is given to save God. Only one. The rich man had his opportunity to focus on what really mattered, but he did not. Mark 12, verse 30 and 31. Mark 12, verse 30 and 31. Mark 12, verse 30 and 31. Mark 12. Very good. 30. And you will love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. And you will love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and with all your strength. All your strength. So use your strength to work for God. Your strength, your mind that you have, use it to study the Bible, to win souls for Christ. Now, verse 31. And the second is like it, namely this: you will love your neighbor as yourself. There's no other commandment greater than this. We are aware that the rich man did not show mercy. At times, people will, I don't know, when I was teaching the Beatitudes, yes, I mentioned the man there. Why did he go to hell? Tatalos. Because he did not show mercy to Lazarus. That's why if you go to verse Mark 12, verse 31, he's saying that. And the second is like it. Namely this: you will love your neighbor as yourself. You will love your neighbor as yourself. The rich man was so selfish. He made mockery of the beggar, Lazarus. He did not care for him. Remember, even his dogs licked the source of Lazarus. And all what he was looking for was the leftover of this rich man's sumptuous dish, which will fall or which fell. And even that one, he was prevented from it. It shows how wicked people are. They are so wicked. My family. Yes. They are so wicked. But your word is somewhere, maybe in school. And someone, you see, at times I've been saying that your word, who is so brilliant in academics, maybe has a classmate or coursemate who has always been helping him or her in the school. And at the end, you are bragging that, hey, as for me, all my seats are intelligent. Maybe there's a student somewhere who is helping this your child in school. So the rich man was so selfish that he didn't care for Lazarus. He didn't love his neighbor as himself. Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is where you have to listen well. You should remember that only one life is given to serve God. Life is not a dress rehearsal. When I say dress rehearsal, I mean to wear a cloth. For example, there's a Miss World, a competition, this Miss Universe. You know, this Miss thing, where you dress to showcase your talent. You go, you walk, and then you go back to change and come. It is not a dress rehearsal where some people will be seated and then as coaches and others, judges, and then there will be scoring. So one person can change him or herself about 5 or 10 times. Life is not like that. Life is not a dress rehearsal. So you choose to wear a cloth, you put it down. You wear this in the morning, afternoon. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Now is the time to get things right with the Lord and to seek Him first. Matthew 6 verse 33. 2 Corinthians 6 verse 1 and 2. Let's go to Matthew 6 verse 33. But seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Go to 2 Corinthians 6 verse 1 and 2. Second Corinthians 6 1 and 2. We, when as workers together with Him, urge you also that you not receive the grace of God in vain. For He says, I have heard you in an acceptable time, and in the days of salvation I have helped you. Behold, now is the acceptable time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Life is not a dress rehearsal where you think you have more time. No one knows when he or she will die. I can't decide when I will die. I don't even know how I will die. Life is not a dress rehearsal. So now is the time to get things right, to get acquainted with God. Seek the Lord first while you still have the time. Now, point 4. We should remember that in death, one's legacy is sealed. In death, one's legacy is sealed. Go to Luke 16 verse 28. Luke 16 verse 28. For I have 5 brothers to whom he may testify, lest they also come to this place of torment. So you see, the rich man wanted to convince Abraham that he sent Lazarus to go and then counsel his brothers. In my conclusion, I'm going to answer that from 27 to 31. Now, the rich man desired to help his 5 brothers in death, but in death, it was too late for him to be any kind of influence on his siblings. Matthew 5 verse 16. Let's go to Matthew 5 verse 16 and see something there. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Let your light shine before men. It says, let your light so shine before men. When he was alive, was he not sensible to have been a mentor to them? When he was alive, what did he do? What did he do when he was alive? He was supposed to be a light, a mentor to them. So basically, they will follow his footsteps. How he lived, the same way they will also live. And now he is begging that it is too late. Time takes everyone out. In death, one's legacy is sealed. It's sealed. There's no turning back, no change of mind. So whatever effect he had on their life was all said and done. He should have lived a life of service to others by loving Lazarus. If he had shown mercy to Lazarus, then his brothers would have also shown mercy to the others. He lived a selfish life, and now he's now sorry But where he was, there was a gap between them. That's why we say we have Hades, we have Tartarus, and Paradise. Even the names are not the same. In fact, they are not synonyms. The names are rather antonyms. They are opposite. Well, one is enjoyment, and then one is suffering. We should remember that in death, one's legacy is sealed. Now we go to the last one. In death, I say in death, we should know that one day, we should remember that one day, point 5, all hope will be lost, both the defiant and obedient. Someone is so defiant. Everything you say, he's going to resist. He is going to resist the authority. He does not believe in the Bible. And he sees all what I'm doing as useless. But he's saying that one day, all hope will be lost for both the defiant and obedient. That's what we read in Hebrews 9, verse 27. You will die, and I will die. Both the righteous and the unrighteous, they will all die. So your pride and arrogance, you're disrespectful, they will all come to an end. When you die, it is finished. Therefore, we should remember the need to seek the Lord now while he may be found. Isaiah 55, verse 6. Seek God now when he can be found. So Isaiah 55, verse 6. Isaiah 55. Verse 6. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Yes. Tomorrow might be too late. As we have seen that the rich man is suffering in Tartarus. Now, conclusion. Now, the story reminds us of the need to take advantage of every opportunity to be responsible while alive. The story of Luke 16, verse 19 to 31, I mean, the rich man and then the Lazarus, reminds us of the need to take advantage of every opportunity to be responsible while alive. Go to Ephesians 5, verse 15 to 17. I read from my mind. Be careful how you walk as wise, not a fool, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Verse 17. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is, or understand the will of the Lord. You see, the man or the rich man, he wasted his time. He lived so foolishly, and then he did not redeem his time. When we say redeem the time, we mean make use of the time that others have been wasting in vain. He didn't care for God. In fact, I'm sure he didn't even know that when he dies, two places are there. He was not interested in that. Life after death, he wasn't interested. So also people are saying nowadays, when I die, then I'm dead. My friend, you are lying. Either you suffer or you enjoy. Be careful how you walk as wise, not a fool, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Or redeeming the time, because the days are evil, of course. All these are warnings. The verse 15 and 16 are warnings. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. When you choose not to listen, then the verse 17 will question you that do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. Now let's go to the full story from Luke 16, verse 27 to 31. In fact, I'll read everything, and then later I will summarize for you. Luke 16, verse 27 to 31. Then he said, therefore I beg you, Father, that you would send him to my father's house, for I have 5 brothers to whom he may testify, lest they also come to this place of torment. Verse 29. Abraham said to him, they have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them. Verse 30. But he said, no, Father Abraham, but if one goes to them from the dead, they will repent. Verse 31. Then he said to him, the he here is referring to Abraham. If they do not hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, even if one rises from the dead. I want you to know that the man gave so many excuses, but none was attended to. Even the verse 25. But Abraham said, son, remember. You see, when he was begging that Lazarus should come and then quench his thirst, Abraham said, son, remember. And here, 27 to 31 was also the same. He was continuing the conversation. And always, Abraham, the one thing is that it was too late. Now, what do we mean by listen to Moses and then the prophets? So let me summarize all for you. Now, the rich man knew that they were also disobedient as he was. I mean, his brothers. And his brothers will not listen to the scriptures. God has already provided sufficient information and evidence about the dangers of judgment. All are in the Bible. He is not obliged to give any more than what he has also given in the scriptures of the Old Testament. Due to the love of money, they were deaf to the commands, warnings, and promises of Moses and the prophet. Then even a resurrection from the dead will not bring about repentance. Here we're saying that Moses and prophets, they are all found in the Bible. So if his brothers should take the Bible, then they will not go to where he was. That's all. They can hear from Moses and the prophet. We have this as the first, this Bible, the old and new, the old one, contains the first 5 books of Moses, called the Pentateuch. We have Genesis, we have Exodus, we have Leviticus, we have Numbers, and Deuteronomy. There are 5. Of course, they are instructions, not laws. At times, we have been misquoted. Of course, they are law books, but they are for instruction. Okay. Yes. So Moses is here in the Bible. When his brothers are able to love God by studying the word, then they will know all what we need to either go to heaven or hell are in the Bible. So if they are not interested in the Bible, then they will go to Tartarus, where he was. That's why he said, they have Moses and the prophet. Let them hear them. And he was saying that if someone should, when you die, there's no return. That's why I said, no ghost. So no one will be allowed to move from either a paradise or Tartarus to go and warn. No. And even if so, the brothers will still not listen, because they cared for money and the things money can buy. So definitely they will also go to where he was. The man refused to shine as a light when he was alive. If he had begun as a Christian or studying the Bible, going to church, he would have loved Lazarus, because in the Bible, when you have, you give to, or you share what you have. Now, the last one of the conclusion is saying that each will give account. Each will give account. Romans 14 verse 12. Each will give account. Romans 14 verse 12. Okay. So then, every one of us will give account of himself to God. Each will give account of his own life to God. So if you are a child and your parents are not Christians, if you are in the home and your family is not interested in going to church or worshiping God, you have to start going to church right now, because salvation is individually. Work out your own salvation, your own. I think last week I taught a lot, so I'm not going to repeat myself. Your own, not our own, your own. Salvation is individually. And as we have heard from Romans 14 verse 12, we are going to give account each to God. So based on that, I'll bring you to the end of my sermon. Remember, the theme is lost forever. So remember that we can lose our salvation forever, and then we will inherit a Tartarus and later to hell. Once again, no one dies and come back. Life is only once. When you die, you have ceased. Even the brain ceases to function because you are dead, and the body will rust. I said will rust, will rot, and then become a sand. Some may even use for fertilizer. At times you go to some cemeteries, people have planted the plantain, cassava. You can imagine a cemetery where they are planting vegetables and then others there. Yes. So the body will even turn to become a fertilizer to fertilize the earth, because we came from the earth. The dust is the one we're going to return to, and the soul goes to God, and the God will decide what he does to you when you are alive. If you served him faithfully, you go to paradise. If you didn't serve him faithfully, you go to a place of torment. So based on this, I thank you for your time, and God bless you so much. Next week, I'll come and then present on gender equality. Later, I will start with the Church of Christ. Now I have to come and then prove my church here. So next week, the same time, God's willing, if we are alive, I'll present on Galatians 3, verse 28. Gender equality. Are men and women equal or not? Thank you so much, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.